Today is Tuesday, which means that's time for another live Q&A all about dropshipping, cryptocurrency, all the different ways that I talk about how to make money on this channel. Think of this as kind of like an office hour where I just sit down, you guys can jump into the live chat and just ask me any questions that you have. So I do these every single Tuesday for you guys at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure to set your clocks, your alarms for that rather, your calendar. Come in here on YouTube and there should be a chat where you can ask any questions that you guys have. So I'll tell you guys a little bit about what I'm up to. So we just had the relaunch of my Facebook Marketplace dropshipping course. It is currently closed for enrollment. So if you are looking for that, I'm sorry, but that is closed for enrollment. But you can always get on the wait list. The link for that is in the description of this video. Get on the wait list. I give you a free Facebook Marketplace dropshipping ebook when you sign up right there for the waitlist, and I'll let you know when the course opens back up for enrollment. I'm going to be doing some cool stuff with eBay dropshipping, some cool videos about eBay dropshipping coming up, and a lot of videos about cryptocurrency as well, because I've been getting some fantastic results with all types of different crypto investing, mainly with crypto bots, but also with NFTs as well. Getting some really, really great results with that I'm pretty excited to share with you guys. So stay tuned for all of that once it's all ready. I'll be making tons of videos about those. Recently, I bought an NFT, for instance. It cost me about $300 and I sold it less than 2 weeks later for about $1,300. So I made a really good profit on that, and I still am holding two more that I also bought for $300 each that are also worth about $1,200 now, that I think are only going to go up. So lots of cool stuff I'm excited to share with you guys. Stay tuned to the channel for all of that. But yeah, the big thing is I'm going to be talking to you guys a lot about the crypto bots once I have some more information about those to share with you guys. Okay, so the next thing I want to cover is that, actually, let's get to some of the questions, and then if I have time, I'll talk about the other stuff. So we have Witty here saying, I'm not sure what Witty is saying there. Variety TV, one of our moderators here, reminding everyone to smash the thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And yeah, man, I'm having a great day. It's warming up here in Colorado. Currently 57 degrees, but it's just getting warmer every day, feeling more like summer. Hope you're doing well. Our other moderator here, one of my VAs, Josen is here. Patrick, if you guys haven't seen Patrick's channel, go check out his YouTube channel. He makes tons of videos about different ways to make money online, including dropshipping. Lots of videos about dropshipping. Should definitely check out his videos. What's up, Kevin? All right. So Aisha says, how can we make Facebook Marketplace active on a personal Facebook account? So you can, as an individual, can start selling on Facebook Marketplace right away. There's nothing you really have to do to start selling products on Facebook Marketplace. Let me actually share my screen. I never like doing this off the cuff because things always go wrong when they're unplanned, but we'll give it a shot this time. I'm just going to go over to Facebook here. Okay. Ooh. Move me out of the way. Okay, so we're over on Facebook, and if you click on the top, there's this icon, the marketplace icon. You can click on that, and that is Facebook Marketplace. You already have access to it. You don't need to go to a different website. You don't need to sign up for anything here. Like, you don't have to opt into using Marketplace, right? It's all just right there for you, which is really, really nice to see. And then to start selling stuff, you just list an item and you could start putting up items for sale. Now, the tricky thing is, us as dropshippers, what we don't want to do is we don't want to have to go and meet up with someone in person in order to deliver the item to them. We want to ship items to our customers. So if you look here, for instance, a lot of these items like this one right here, you know, this is in Denver. If I want this, well, not that one. If I want these garden beds, I would actually have to go to the person's house or meet them in a parking lot, give them $35, and then they hand that to me. That's not what we're interested in doing. And luckily, we don't have to do that with Facebook because Facebook now has the shipping option. So let me find one of these items. Yeah, like this end table right here. So it says ships to you. So if I were to purchase this, and I could purchase this directly here on Facebook, just on the bottom right, it says buy now. So I can click here, buy it. I'll pay through Facebook. Facebook will then hold on to that money, and then once the item is delivered, actually release it to the seller. But that now allows us to do drop shipping because this is all done remotely, so to speak. So if I were to buy this person is a drop shipper, they would then buy this item from Walmart and ship it directly to me, completely hands off. So the tricky thing here that you might be talking about is this buy now button. That is the shipping option. So if you don't have the shipping option, then this buy now button won't appear here. Does that mean you can't do drop shipping? No, there are other ways to do it. By directing people to your own website is a primary way of doing it, but it is better when you have the shipping option, when you have this buy now button. It will result in more sales. So how do you get this option to allow people to pay through Facebook? Well, most people are just going to have it. If you have a Facebook account that you've already used and you've had that Facebook account for a while, just for personal use, then when you sign up when you start using Facebook Marketplace, that buy now button, that shipping option should already be there. It should already be enabled. And for the vast majority of people, that is the case. So you can start doing that right away. If it's not available, there's a few reasons it might not be available. One, if you have a brand new Facebook account, it won't be enabled yet. You'll have to wait, give your account some time, and then they unlock it. There's no one knows exactly when they unlock it. I don't think there's really any way for us to tell, and Facebook isn't going to tell us. So it just takes some time of using your account. Use it as you normally would. Go on, post stuff as an individual, look at your friends' stuff, and go onto Marketplace even. Buy a couple of things on Marketplace. I'll list items for sale that you sell locally, even if you don't actually sell them. And then as time goes on, that shipping option will be unlocked. Now, the other reason you might not have the shipping option is if you live in a country that doesn't support it. So currently, the United States supports it. And I think there are a few other countries, but I'm not exactly sure which ones they are, to be honest. But I know that is rolling out for more countries. But it is definitely available in the United States. And then finally, the third reason you might not have the shipping option is if it's been disabled because you've done something that has caused the shipping option to be disabled. And the primary way that happens is if you've ever run Facebook ads before, and you've had your Facebook ads account shut down for not following community standards. So what you'll see a lot is people who start selling on Shopify, maybe they're doing Shopify dropshipping. A lot of them will start running Facebook ads. Now, Facebook ads are really, really difficult. And luckily, the type of dropshipping that I teach, that I'm talking about on this channel, we don't worry about Facebook ads. But if you were running Facebook ads, they are difficult. And for whatever reason, Facebook a lot of times will shut down your ads account because they feel like you're not abiding by their rules. It's very, very arbitrary, and you never really know what you're doing wrong, and it's a huge pain in the butt. That's what they do. If that happens, if you no longer allow to run ads, it's tied into the shipping option. So you also will not be able to have the shipping option. So in that case, what you have to do is appeal the the denial or the shutting down of your Facebook ads account. Get your Facebook ads account back, and then the shipping option should come with it like a domino effect. So those are really the three scenarios where you would not have the shipping option. Okay. There's a link to the waitlist for the Facebook course. All right. Sanjana says, hey, Paul, how do I increase my eBay sales as a beginner? And how do I find hot products to sell? Good question, man. So, yeah. one of the things that you're going to notice when you start eBay drop shipping is that the whole setup process is really not that bad, especially if you have like a program or a course to follow. You get the whole thing set up. Really the question is, how do you actually make this sales? What is it that makes your product sell instead of someone else's? And that's really the tricky part, right? That is really the part that people can waste a lot of time and money on unless you know what you're doing, and you can follow kind of a roadmap to it. So really one of the most important things when it comes to being successful with eBay dropshipping is getting down product research. If you are listing up products that people don't want to buy, you're not going to make any sales. So you have to do product research. You have to list up products that people actually want to buy. And how do you figure out what products people want to buy? You look at what they're already buying. If people are already buying something, it means that people want it. So you should be selling that same product or those same products. So that is what I teach inside my course. I also teach it here on YouTube. I have a lot of videos about it. Down below in the description, there should be a link to like a free eBay dropshipping training. If you go to that, I teach this, how to do this, and it's free. So you might as well check it out. Nothing to lose by checking it out. But the basic process, I'll talk through it, but in that video, I actually show how to do it. The basic process is you're going to go onto eBay, and eBay will actually tell you what products are already successful. So you'll be able to find those products and determine if those products are being drop shipped, and then reverse engineer. Find where those products are being drop shipped from, and then list up those same products for sale. And if you're able to do that, then that really increases the chances that those products will sell. Okay. All right. How is my traveling? I have not been doing a lot of traveling lately. I'm staying at the home base here in Colorado, but I will be taking some trips in the near future that I'm pretty excited about. So I usually put all that in our other YouTube channel, which is the whole van life channel, where we just travel around in our van and explore the country. I think the link to that is at the bottom of the description of all my videos. How many shops do I run? Do you mean Facebook shops in particular? I think that may be what you mean. So with Facebook shops, I technically have 4 that are up and running. One doesn't have any products in it. The other has a few, and I don't know if I've even made a sale on that one. And then the other 2 are the ones that we actually make sales on. Yeah. And the only reason for that is because really, like, what I teach my students is when it comes to Facebook shops, which is another way to sell on Facebook Marketplace, but just better. When it comes to shops, they are difficult to set up. And part of that difficulty is even if you do everything right, Facebook still has to approve the shop. And many times they'll just deny the shop and you're not really sure why. So I really tell my students, open multiple shops and then see which one works. Now, in my case, I opened 4 I think it was just 4. And then one got approved and then the other 3 got approved as well. So one I don't use, one I had some products in when I created the shop, but we never actually went further with it besides just a few products. And the other 2 had a bunch of products. It was really weird because one was doing really well and then the other one wasn't, and then they flip-flopped. So I'm just keeping them both running because they kind of even each other out. But you really only need one good shop. A blast from the past said, is opening a second eBay account as easy as logging out, registering with the exact same info, and adding a new password? Basically, yeah. Basically. But you will need a new email address as well. And I also would not open multiple eBay accounts without having a reason for it. Especially if you're new, I wouldn't open a new eBay account at all. You are allowed to open multiple eBay accounts, that's allowed. But if you are brand new to eBay and you aren't even making sales on your main account or just few sales, there's no reason to be opening a second account. And if you do, that could cause a red flag early on. Now, once your store is up and running and doing well and you open a second store, it shouldn't be an issue at all. But it can be an issue if you open multiple accounts at once. So I would not open more than one account on a single day or even close together. I don't think it's worth the risk at all. Just be patient. Open it later. Okay. Tyler says, how do you get around VERO listings on eBay? Lately, I've been getting a lot of them. So VERO is eBay's Verified Rights Owner Program. That's what it stands for. And basically, when we are drop shipping, we are using stock images and stock descriptions, okay? So we are listing up items for sale that we get from wholesale suppliers or we get from retail suppliers, and we just use the stock images. We're not going to have the item delivered to our house and take our own images or take our own photos of them. Now, if you're doing wholesale, it's not an issue because the wholesale supplier is giving you the right to use those stock images and stock descriptions. So there shouldn't be any problem with listing up products from wholesale suppliers. So if you want to be completely safe from VERO, or you should be completely safe, then you should go with wholesale. Now, when you're doing retail drop shipping, in that case, most of the brands allow you to freely use their stock images and stock descriptions, okay? Most of them. But there are some brands who say, you know what, we want more control. So those stock images and stock descriptions, we only want Walmart using them. We don't want you using them. Or we only want Home Depot using them. We don't want you using them. So if you're going to sell those products, you are allowed to, but you can't use the stock images or the stock description. You would have to make your own description, take your own photos. And that's not something I ever wanted to do as a dropshipper. I thought that was too much work. So we just don't sell those products. If you're using a software to do your research like Zeek Analytics will tell you, hey, this brand that you're trying to sell or that you found, that is a VERO brand. Even though it's selling, even if other people are selling this product on eBay, you shouldn't do it because you're going to run into a VERO problem. Then when you go to list the item, you're going to plug it into a software like AutoDS. AutoDS is also going to tell you the same thing. It's going to tell you if that is a VERO product, a VERO brand. So that's like 2 levels of checks there. If you want to add a third level, you can always do a manual check yourself. eBay's website actually has a list of all the brands, that's supposed to have all the brands that participate in the VERO program, so you can actually check it against that list as well. It's not a complete list, unfortunately, as stupid as that is, because it's on eBay's website. It's not a complete a complete list, but it's worth it to give it just a quick check over yourself. All right, George wants to know, would you do a course on cryptos or NFTs? Probably not, George, because I took a course to learn a lot about crypto. So there's a few ways I'm making money with cryptocurrencies, but what I found to be the simplest way, the way that's the most straightforward, and the way, I guess the best way to describe it is the way that can be replicated the easiest is by using crypto bots. And I learned how to do that from someone else. So I'm not going to steal his stuff and make my own course, especially because his course is so good. That course is called The Plan. It's by a gentleman named Dan Hollings, who is somewhat of a legend and a genius. And he's brought all his expertise to crypto, has made a fortune with it, and has started to teach others how he's done it. It's a lot different than what other people are doing. He's not making these like bets where he buys a coin and crosses his fingers and kind of hopes that coin then goes 100 or 1000x. He wanted a system that could be replicated over and over again. So he figured out how these bots work, these crypto bots. That's what he teaches inside The Plan, and a whole lot more about crypto. So that is currently closed for enrollment. It is opening up fairly soon, within the next, I think, couple of months or so. So if you want to get on the wait list for it, the link to it is in the description of this video. That's my waitlist, but I'll be releasing some exclusive content about the plan and about my own crypto bots that I'll be sharing if you're on that email list. And if you do eventually join the plan through my link, then through my affiliate link, then I have some bonuses in there as well. And one of them is a private Discord for a bunch of us who are comparing different bots and what works the best. So that is what I'm doing right now in terms of a crypto course. I just think that one works so well. That's what I've been telling everyone about. Okay. Eddie says, are there any requirements for drop shipping, such as credit, bank, or some type of license? So, there's a few ways to look at this. If you're brand new to drop shipping and you want to start drop shipping on eBay or Facebook Marketplace, you can just go and do it. Okay, there's technically there's no license you need to get. There's no particular bank or credit card. You can just go and do it. And you'll be selling as an individual. So you yourself will be selling. But if you want to set up a business and run these under your business, you can do that. And there's lots of advantages to doing that. There's potentially tax advantages. There's advantages if you want to go wholesale. You look like a more reputable company that wholesale suppliers will actually want to work with. So it is a good idea, but you don't have to do it right away. I didn't do it right away. I started my dropshipping business and I didn't form my LLC for 8 months. And then I formed an LLC and moved everything under the LLC. So if you want to go that route, then you would have to form a business like an LLC. That is something you have to do with your state. Every state has a different process for that. Then your LLC should get a bank account. It should get a credit card. And then you should be good to go. You have to get an EIN as well during that process. But yeah, as an individual, I would set up a separate bank account. You can get a credit card with some good, you will need a credit card, get some with some good points or cash back, and that's going to help you out a lot. Patrick wants to know what's the name of the crypto bot that I am using. So again, I learned how to do this from the plan, but we use a software called Bitscap to do it. So Bitscap is actually where you set up the bots. Now the crypto that I own, it's not in Bitscap. Bitscap doesn't hold any crypto. The crypto is instead on an exchange. So you might have heard of Coinbase. That's an exchange. That's where you can buy and sell crypto. So most of my crypto all my crypto is in these exchanges, like Coinbase. There's others like KuCoin, Kraken, Gemini. They all, Bitscap all works with all of those through an API. So it connects to my Coinbase Pro account, and it tells Coinbase Pro, hey, Paul has set up this bot. So because of that, you need to execute these trades at this time. So it basically will automatically buy when the price is low and then sell when the price is high, but just a little bit at a time. So it's constantly buying, selling, buying, selling, buying, selling, buying, selling. So it's basically like doing a ton of day trading automated without you having to sit at the computer and do it manually all day long. It just does it for you. Now, these trades it does, it might only make you 20 cents, 30 cents, something like that. But if it does it hundreds of times a day, which some of them do, that adds up. The thing that I love about it is that there are some cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, that I had already purchased and that I plan to just hold for a long time to wait for the value of them to go up. But what I love about the bots is that I put them into a bot. So now as I'm holding the Bitcoin and Ethereum, they are also making more Bitcoin and Ethereum as they trade, which is what the bots do. They trade and make more cryptocurrency for you, so to speak. So they are making money two ways. The underlying value of them goes up, so I make money that way. And as they trade against each other, I make more crypto as well. So it's just like a win-win situation there with those bots. And that's everything I learned from the plan, and the wait list for that I'll have linked up in the description. Okay, so I answered that already. There's Patrick's channel for you guys to check out, or just search for Patrick the Marketer. Matt says, I was approved for Facebook Shops in less than 24 hours. Pretty easy. Yeah, so I mean, if you know what to do and you follow and you do it all right, you could get approved really, really fast. I think sometimes they're backlogged, so the approval process might take longer. Again, what was interesting for me is I'd set up 3 shops and none of them were approved. And I set up one, that one was approved, I think within hours. And then shortly after that, all the other ones were approved. So I think it's sometimes just a matter of throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks, so to speak. I answered this already. Yeah, these live streams are always available for replay later. How much can we list in one day? So that depends on the platform. On eBay, eBay limits how many items you can list and sell within a month. So you have to work within the confines of that limit. But even if you have a high listing limit, I wouldn't list a ton of items every day when you're new. Later on, once your store is more developed, you can list more items every day. But in the beginning, I would scale slowly. Do not list too many items too quickly. That is a red flag for any marketplace. So that's including Facebook as well. Facebook Marketplace, they don't cap or limit the number of items you can list or sell. They don't charge you for listings. But you don't want to scale up too quickly in terms of the number of listings that you have. You should always move at a steady rate, but not too fast rate to kind of avoid those red flags. Angel says, I noticed on Facebook there's an option to list multiple items. Is there a way to use AutoDS to upload multiple items at once through Facebook Marketplace? So there is, and when you're going to list an item, you can either list up a single item or you can do multiple items, just like Angel said there. I have tried the multiple uploader and I don't like it. I think it takes longer for what we do. So when you're listing up a single item, the really cool thing is that we have a Chrome extension that will list that item for you. So if you find the item on Walmart and you want to bring it over into Facebook Marketplace, you just click one button that the Chrome extension adds. It will copy everything from Walmart and paste it into a new listing on Facebook Marketplace for you with just one click. It's so fast, and I don't think it's necessary at all then to use a multiple uploader. On top of that, when you're listing items, you do want to make sure they're optimized. So you want to optimize the title, even the images and the description. Whenever you do bulk uploading, that always gets thrown out. We've seen that on eBay, we've seen that on Amazon, we've seen it on Facebook Marketplace. You always just get a little bit lazy and just bulk upload. And I really think that optimization is so important when it comes to listing items if you want those items to sell. So take the time to list them one by one. You know, you can use a Chrome extension to help you, but then spend a few minutes optimizing, and it's really gonna make a big difference. And I think it's much better than bulk uploading. How many shops can you open on Facebook under one business account? That's a good question. I've been asked that before, and I honestly don't know. Like I said, I have 4. And let me check if I have 4. I think it's, because I said this before and I'm just not positive. I'm just opening mine up. I'm not going to show you guys this though. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4. So I know you can have at least 4. Is there a limit? I don't know. I'm not sure about that. All right, Earn with Lex says, do you recommend purchasing an eBay subscription to help with gaining traffic to my listings early on? So when you start selling on eBay, it's free to have an eBay account, and you do get charged when you list items after a certain amount. But there is what eBay calls these subscriptions, and it is worth it to get them. So let me see if I could pull up eBay store subscriptions. so I can kind of show you what I mean. Oh, this is kind of neat. I've never seen this before. So let's do this together. So this is like a little, so I came to the eBay's website and it's this little kind of calculator, which is I've never seen here before. So eBay has these subscriptions. They call them eBay stores. Like I said, you get a free store up front, but then there's other ones based on your needs. So the main thing is really how many items you have listed, because you come over here, you see that you get there's a free one they don't show here, but then there's a starter store for just $5 a month with the annual subscription. It's a little bit more if you're just paying month to month. And with that one, you get 250 free listings a month. And after that, each listing will cost you 30 cents. Then with the basic store, it's $22 a month with the annual subscription. With that one, you get 1,000 free listings a month. And then 25 cents, only 25 cents for each additional listing. So you see, the more expensive the plan is, the more free listings you get. So you have to do the math and determine at what point it makes sense to sign up for one of these stores so that you can save money by not paying so much for the insertion fees, which are how much it costs to list an item. Now, inside my course, if you're a member of the course, I break this down for you, but I also tell people in general, in other words, I break down at what point, at how many listings you should actually upgrade to a store and which store. But the other thing I always tell people is, hey, look under basic store, because right here it says a lower final value fee. Your final value fee drops. And by the way, the final value fee is how much you pay after you sell an item. So let's say your final value fee is 12%. If you sell a $100 item, eBay is going to take $12 of that. Okay. Everyone pays a final value fee. So it's not something to kind of gripe about, because everyone's selling the same product as you. They're all paying the same final value fee. So you just put that into the cost of the item, basically. But with a basic store, your final value fee will be a little bit lower. So it might be worth it to get a basic store a little bit earlier than you think. But let's do the math here. So let's say, okay, how many items you have listed? Yeah, you're new, 1 to 500. And then you say, okay, what do you want here? I'm not sure why this matters. I would put I'm a new or smaller business. What, is there more to this? Okay, and then it's just suggesting this stuff, I guess. Yeah. So then if you upgrade to let's say you need 500 listings, then it's going to tell you, but this is really bad actually. This is terrible. Absolutely terrible. I can't believe they wasted money building this out on their website, because this is just completely garbage. It's worthless. I mean, a proper calculator would say how many listings, it would actually tell you, okay, in order to make it worth it to have a basic store, you should have X number of listings. It doesn't even tell you that. It just makes you plug these two things in. I mean, this is just like garbage. That's just such a waste. I don't know why they wasted time and money putting this together. It just would be more helpful to say, all right, when you have whatever it is, maybe like 700 listings, at that point, it makes sense financially to have a basic store. All right, I'm done ranting about that. Okay, next question. Oh, thanks, Edmund. Appreciate it. I'm not sure. 3 items per month limit. The only place that has a limit, like I said, is eBay. And eBay has never had a 3 item per month limit. Okay, I got totally sidetracked. So I need to go back to actually answer this question. Would you recommend purchasing an eBay subscription to help out with gaining traffic? So like I said, you can get one of these subscriptions. It's not necessary. All it's going to do is give you more free listings, okay? And some of these other benefits like a lower final value fee. But it does not give you more traffic. So that is not a benefit that you get by signing up for like a premium store or an anchor store. So, or an anchor store, or what's the enterprise store? Don't think that doing that is going to get you more traffic. It's not. All it gives you is more free listings. And this is kind of confusing. Another confusing thing about eBay. With a basic store, you get 1,000 free listings per month. But if your listing limit is only 100 items, you're only going to be able to list 100 items. You will not be able to list 1,000 items. So don't think that just because you have 1,000 free listings that you will actually be able to use them all. So yeah. All right. Oh, so it's just a matter of, so Wings of Legends says, when can you expect to list more products per day than usual on Facebook Marketplace to avoid getting suspended? Like I said, you want to scale slowly with these marketplaces, and list a few items the first day, a few items the second day, a few items for the first couple of weeks, and then you can slowly move up, maybe increase 25%, 30% every day, until you're at a level where you can just keep listing a bunch every day. That's really more of what it's about. Mohammed says Sam's Club stopped offering free shipping for any of its members. Any solution? No, so I don't use Sam's Club. There's always been problems with using Sam's Club as a supplier. They used to never really ship to multiple addresses every single month. So you might be able to get a few orders past them as a drop shipper. But then they would say, hey, you've shipped to too many addresses this month. You can't ship to any other addresses. I don't think they put that in place to stop drop shipping specifically. My thought is they did that to stop people from sharing memberships, basically, which is kind of what we're doing with drop shipping. They're fully within their right to do that. So yeah, I just never used Sam's Club because of that limitation, and now it seems like they've limited it even more. Whenever something like that happens, I always do look for a solution. I know with Home Depot, for instance, we used to be able to basically ship any product for free to any customer, and then that stopped working. So when that stopped working, I said, okay, what are the solutions? Can we find another way to get the same result? Or do we just have to adapt and start raising our prices? So we kind of work with what we're given. In this case, if there is no way around it, then I would just add in the cost of shipping to all the items I list so that it does cover the cost of shipping. But that's kind of what you have to do. And if that doesn't work for you, then move on, find another supplier. I've ditched many suppliers in the past that have worked out really well, but then stopped working. And that's just part of the process. Some have been consistent, like Home Depot, Walmart, for instance. But then you can also move wholesale, where it's just much more consistent as well. Share your bot strategies. So the crypto bots that I mentioned, those there is a strategy for making those work. And I'll be sharing some of my results in some videos that I'll be making later this month. So definitely subscribe and stay tuned for that. I'll actually be showing you guys how much they've made, and you can actually see the numbers in live time. But I can't share the exact strategies because that is actually what's the word I'm looking for? That's information that was given to me by Dan by taking the plan, and actually had to sign an NDA before I took it, saying I wouldn't spread this information out there. And Dan's, I think, is completely within his right to do that. I've shared dropshipping information with people who have then gone out and sold their own course and basically just copied mine. And I didn't have an NDA in place, so I couldn't, shut them down, so to speak. And I kind of wish I did, because I think that's just wrong, right? Doesn't feel good when I put in a lot of time and money figuring out how to dropship, and I'm teaching you guys how to do it without spending so much time and money. And so for someone to come in, just steal that information from me and then sell their own course, that's not cool, because I'm the one who put in all the time and money to figure it out. So I think Dan is fully within his right to kind of make us sign the NDA. And but I'm definitely not going to violate that. So plus I don't think it's fair. Like he did a great job with it. But I'll be sharing a lot more on the channel about my bots and how they're working. Hey, Paul, I'm switching over to wholesale. Do I need to wait 3 to 5 days before selling on my account? Yeah, I would still do that. I think it's just the safest way to go about it. So Matt, it's 4 Facebook shops, and all 4 of my Facebook shops are under one commerce manager. That is correct. Like I said, I have sales going on 2 of them. One of them, I've never made a sale. What was the 4th one? Oh yeah, I've made a few sales on that one, but not much because I kind of turned it off. Mohammed says, do you know anything about crypto exchange arbitrage? Please share with us. I do. I mean, I know about it. There are tons of ways to make money with crypto. This, I don't think, works as well as it used to. But in the earlier days of crypto, I love arbitrage, right? That's what we do as dropshippers. Buy low in one place and sell high in another. Buying low on Walmart or from our wholesale suppliers, selling high on eBay and Facebook Marketplace. That's what arbitrage is. And there used to be crypto arbitrage. I'm sure that you could still do it. But for instance, the guy who owns the crypto exchange called FTX, this is how he made all his money originally. And he made hundreds of millions of dollars doing this. So what he did was he noticed that on some exchanges like Bitcoin, like in the United States, Bitcoin would be like maybe at that time like $1,000. But on the Japanese exchange, it'd be worth like $1,200. That's an exaggeration. It'd be more like $1,050, right? So he would buy a whole bunch of crypto on the US exchange for $1,000 a coin and sell it for $1,050 on the Japanese exchange. And you can imagine if you do enough of that every day and just keep putting more and more money into it, you build like this system that can really make a lot of money. And that's what he was doing. He was putting literally tens of millions of dollars through this a day eventually. And that's how he made a lot of money doing that. I don't know if that still works. I doubt it would work as well. Is it possible to automate Facebook Marketplace dropshipping? The best way to automate it, that is the most automated, is with Facebook shops. So that's what we were talking about. We've been talking a little bit about Facebook shops. It requires extra steps. You have to actually set up a business on Facebook, set up a shop there. But once you have it set up, you add products to your shop, and then Facebook will push those products from your shop to Facebook Marketplace. So you're still selling the products on Facebook Marketplace. But the really cool thing is that the software works so well with shops. So you can have software that adds items, that reprices them, restocks them. It's all automated, and it just works really, really well. So that is the best way to automate Facebook Marketplace dropshipping. Also with shops, you have the ability to hire virtual assistants and have them safely work on your account. You can give them access to only part of your Facebook shop without having to give them access to your actual Facebook account as well. So that helps. Like any other things that the software can't do, you can hire virtual assistants to do that for you and just give them that limited access. Every problem has a solution. Yeah, totally. I agree. $21% VAT fee. Well, that means you're not in the United States, somewhere in Europe. I'm not. Yeah. So yeah, when you sell, they also get charged. The customer also gets charged sales tax in the United States. I thought that VAT was something the customer paid, not you. But maybe I have that wrong. Explained this earlier, so just rewind to that. I live in Spain. The fee here is 21. On top of that, eBay charged me 3%. Yes, I'm not, because eBay should charge more than 3%. So I'm a little bit. But then again, I don't sell in Spain, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure about those numbers. How do you? How I'm not sure what you're asking, Anita. Maybe you can rephrase it. Okay, so Anita says, will your Chrome extension ever work with shops? And it now working with eBay. Yeah, so like I mentioned before, we have a Chrome extension. My team has developed it, where the Chrome extension will copy a listing from like Walmart and paste it into a blank listing on Facebook Marketplace. You can do that from Walmart, you can do that from Home Depot, you can do it from Amazon, you can do it from AutoDS. It also works with eBay now, if you didn't know that. So it can paste it into a blank listing on eBay. That way you can be totally like kind of under the radar with drop shipping if you're doing retail. Will it ever work with shops? No, I don't think so. Because like I said, shops already has software that works really well with it. I built the Chrome extension, or my team did, because it was filling a hole. There was no one out there that had a tool like this at the time. And we needed something like this to be able to quickly copy things to Facebook Marketplace and to eBay as well. But there is software that works really well with shops. And I don't feel like I need to create something better because I think it works really well the way it does. You plug item into the software, it will list it to Facebook shops for you. And then that will push it to Facebook Marketplace. So I don't think it needs to be adapted for that. I think the software, which is called FBM Fox, is the way that you should be going with shops. The Chrome extension does work with Home Depot. So if it's not working for you, let me know. It's working with homedepot.com. If it doesn't work for you, send us an email to support, paul@pauljlipsky.com, and we'll figure out why it's not working for you. How to get the buy button on Facebook. I talked about this earlier. Do you think your eBay course is still worth it because you have a Facebook course too? Yeah, I mean, I teach different ways to do it, to do drop shipping, and they both work. If I ever think something doesn't work, I'll shut it down. Like I stopped doing Amazon drop shipping, I shut down my Amazon course. But yeah, I think eBay is still worth it, especially if you're willing to go the extra distance and do wholesale drop shipping. I think it's worth it. Let's see. Is Amazon still worth using as a supplier? I want to say no, but the problem with saying no is that there are people out there that are using Amazon as a supplier and killing it. Now, let me present my arguments, and then I'll play devil's advocate and support the other side's arguments. So my arguments against using Amazon as a supplier. First, if you're dropshipping Amazon to eBay, eBay has kind of, for some reason, can tell when you're doing it. And their number one most hated company at eBay is Amazon. They hate Amazon. It's their main competitor. They never want to do anything that can remotely support Amazon. So when they saw people dropshipping Amazon to eBay, they didn't like that because that gives business to Amazon. So they catch you doing that, they'll lower you in the search results. That's what they were doing in the past. So Amazon to eBay is a big no-no. It's something I've been saying for a couple of years now. We were doing Amazon to Facebook Marketplace like a year and a half ago, and it was working so well. But then Amazon made a change where even though people have been using them as a supplier for years and years and years with no issue, suddenly Amazon saw people drop shipping or shipping to multiple addresses and then said, okay, we're not allowing this anymore. This is against the Prime terms of service. So we're shutting down your Prime account. So it's very difficult now. Amazon's making it difficult, and that's not fun to work with. So are there ways around it? Probably, but it's just such a hassle. I'm telling people at this point, Amazon is just not a good supplier to use, especially when there's so many other good suppliers out there. If you're doing eBay, go the wholesale route. If you're doing Facebook Marketplace, you can do Home Depot, you can do Walmart, plenty of good suppliers out there. Now, the devil's advocate side of this is that there are people who are still drop shipping Amazon to eBay, Amazon to Facebook Marketplace, and crushing it. If you look at the YouTube channel Dropship King, he drop ships Amazon to eBay. And even so, before Amazon started having the problems, I was telling people don't drop ship Amazon to eBay. He was doing it and crushing it. And now he's still doing it and just kind of working with Amazon and kind of around all of their rules and bans and things like that. And he's still doing really well with it. Definitely requires more work though. I remember so again, with that Home Depot issue, I'm just giving you guys examples of how, like, if you want to be like really successful with this, you can find ways to adapt where other people won't. Anytime there's a problem, like this problem with Amazon, most people are just going to drop off. That creates a huge opportunity for you. If you're willing to find a way to make a supplier work that other people are unwilling to do or unwilling to figure out, that creates a huge opportunity for you. So when I was drop shipping from Home Depot, the rule at Home Depot is you get free shipping on all orders over $45. Now, if what we used to be able to do is we used to be able to add 20 items to a cart. And during checkout, we could ship all 20 items to different addresses. And even if each item was only $5, we would still get free shipping on all of them because they're all part of one order. So we were able to make a lot of money because we weren't paying for any shipping, even on cheaper items. Home Depot eventually limited that to just 4 items and 3 items. And then, so what we were able to do is we kind of found ways around that. It was really difficult, but we were able to make it work and we were making good money because no one else was willing to do that. So just stuff like that. If you're willing to figure it, Lowe's is another one. Lowe's was always such a terrible supplier to work with. Terrible customer service. They would forget to ship items. You would always have to call them up on the phone to remind them to ship them. And no one liked working with them for that reason. But I did. I worked with them. And I actually hired a virtual assistant whose full-time job was just to call Lowe's over and over again to ask about different orders that didn't ship out. So I was paying this virtual assistant just to do that. But yeah, we were making such good money from it because no one else is willing to use Lowe's. But then eventually it just got worse and I kind of gave up on them. Go where other people aren't willing to go, and there's huge opportunities there. I personally haven't used Banggood in a while because I stopped drop shipping from Chinese suppliers. In other words, suppliers that are based overseas. I am really sticking now to suppliers based here in the United States where customers can get their items faster and we can, it just makes everything a lot easier and customers are happy with it. Okay, I've heard that manual stores do better than using software on shops. You mean Facebook shops? Or eBay? Where specifically are you talking about? So on eBay, I definitely agree that doing things manually is better. But there's the ways to use software with a manual store. That's why the Chrome extension has been adopted now, where you can list directly from AutoDS onto eBay, or from Home Depot onto eBay into a blank listing. So for when eBay looks at it, they don't see any software. They just see that you listed an item. And so it kind of disguises that. So definitely for eBay, but you're saying this for Facebook Marketplace, for Facebook Shops, Luke? I'm not sure what you mean. Or did you mean eBay? Okay. Jacob says, when should I take the first steps to sell on shops? I just got the course last week, just made my first sale. I know starting an LLC is pretty expensive. What do you recommend? Jacob, I recommend, so when you first join my Facebook course, I recommend you start selling on Facebook Marketplace right away, which sounds like you're doing. Excellent. And in the meantime, start setting up your Facebook shop. There are many steps involved, so I would start right away. You said an LLC is pretty expensive. That depends on the state. Most states is actually pretty cheap. There are exceptions to that, like New York There are some things you have to do that end up being kind of expensive, but for most states, it should be pretty cheap. Look into what it is for your state, and just get that ball rolling. The Counts Fam, I'm probably saying your name wrong. How do you feel about AutoDS Product Finder? So I don't use a product finder. That's kind of like a way to do product research. But it's kind of like more automated. I really like Zeek Analytics, where it will give you information, then you can verify it yourself if it's a good item you want to sell. I think that's the way I prefer to do product research. Luke says, I'm still going strong on Amazon. Just be sure to have multiple accounts. I mean, there you go, guys. Like I said, if you're willing to go the extra distance, or put in the extra work is a better way to put it, it can totally be worth it. I know lots of people that are crushing it, Amazon to eBay, or Amazon to Facebook, for that matter. I don't think I did see your question. I just scrolled up and I don't see it for some reason. I have this software that I'm not actually logged into YouTube. It's a software. And sometimes it maybe it doesn't show me all the messages sometimes. How to deal with returns on Facebook Marketplace. My supplier is Walmart. So technically you don't have to accept any returns for what's called buyer's remorse, which is when the buyer just says, hey, I don't want this item. But if people give me a hard time, I do a return, especially if the item arrives damaged or late or something wrong with the item or the wrong item. We always accept a return. So what we do is very easy. You're just going to go over to Walmart and chat with them and say, hey, I want to return this item. Give them the order number. They're going to give you a return label to use. You can then download that return label onto your computer. It should be like a PDF. And then go onto Facebook, send the customer a message and say, hey, we're happy to accept this return. Please box up the item, put this label on it, and ship it back, and give them the label. Then the customer will do that. They'll ship the item to Walmart. Walmart will refund you. You refund the customer. That's it. Pretty easy. Does eBay give me the customer's payment before I buy the product from a supplier? They don't, no. So you have to actually use a credit card to fulfill your order from your supplier. Use a credit card, and then once eBay releases the money to you, then you can use that to pay off your credit card and keep the rest as profit. Facebook shops. So Luke is saying he's drop shipping Amazon to Facebook shops, a manual store. I haven't heard that, Luke. So what Luke's saying is that he's drop shipping on Facebook shops manually, not using any software. That's interesting. And it's going better for him. I'll have to look into it. I have a few shops, so maybe I'll try one manually. I mean, I like software because are you using any software like to alert you for price changes, to list them, or anything? I'm just kind of curious. Do you think it's like the data feed, or I'm just kind of curious about that. The data feed that might be kind of slowing things down. No, I don't use any sort of ads for Facebook or anything like that. All right, so I'm going to end it there today. Thanks everyone for hanging out and for the great questions everyone had. If you guys missed the live stream or didn't get your question answered, make sure to join us next week. We do these every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern time. So subscribe to the channel, make sure to come. And thanks so much for hanging out, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye for now.